Hey guys, it's Cream, aka Miss Cream of the Crop. Welcome to Cream's World Wednesdays on a Thursday, and it's all Big Squeeze's fault. But yeah,
Always
Big Squeeze, always. As long as you recognize, realize, and understand, and overstand, innerstand, outerstand, whatever stand there is, as long as all those stands,
I'm just
you
strong enough to take the
understand.
blame. I know it ain't my fault, but I take the blame. It don't matter. Whatever.
So before we get into this episode, do you want me to ask you how you're doing first, or you want me to tell the people what we're going to be talking about today?
Run down what we talking about first.
Right, so you can roll your blunt?
No, I'm gonna do that anyway.
Okay, so I want to ask you how you're doing first. How are you?
Okay.
How are you feeling?
Why you asking me if you already had your mind made up? You see, what the hell
How's
is
your
wrong?
mental health? I did that on purpose. How's your mental health? How's everything going with you, Big Squeeze?
You know what?
Yes.
Life is honestly good.
That's
Life is
great.
pretty good, man. I'm good. I'm in a good place. Things have really been looking up for me lately, and I'm just blessed. So I'm very, very happy for the way things are going. Pray hard, and I've been working toward my goals, and my goals are starting to align with one another. And it's
Yes.
it's
I'm
incredible.
happy
I'm
for
really
you.
blessed with it. Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
The
Like,
first time you're
seriously.
happy for me.
Don't lie. See, Squeeze, you get on here and lie to these people all the time. I'm always happy for you, Squeeze.
We go back
Did you
to
say
94. This is the first time you've been happy for me
You
ever.
said 94. When we were kids.
When we were little, you weren't never happy for me, Greg. Remember I saw that? You weren't even happy then.
Squeeze, I don't even think in 94 you would have been allowed to be in my neighborhood. You were bad.
What hood was you in?
Hey, listen, we're not talking about that, okay?
We're not.
Because, you know, black people love talking about how they got it out the mud, and when people didn't get it out the mud, they look down on you. So I need people to, you know, I need y'all to, as long as...
Oh, you don't want that judgment. I can respect it.
But look, I work hard for everything that I've ever accomplished. Let's
you are
just put it like that.
A freaking hard-working lady. I give you that.
Listen, man.
That's the Capricorn in us, man. You know, put it in work, man.
It is. Speaking of Capricorn, that was a very Capricorn status you put up the other day about people typing on Facebook, asking a question, and waiting 30 minutes instead of going to Google. Because I feel like that too, Squeeze.
Ain't that the dumbest thing in the world? It's just like... just tell me that you want to do something or something is on your mind, but don't act like you need me to tell you the answer to something when Google is right there.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
I might not even see this for 5 hours. You gonna wait 5 hours instead of going to Google?
Right, like you literally opened your Facebook app when you could have just tapped, because you know on most phones Google is right there.
Of course,
like
Chrome is
right there.
Facebook.
Exactly. Usually people's search bar is on their home screen.
People they be wanting something to talk. Just say, yo, I'm bored. I need something to talk about, yo.
Or guys, I'm feeling neglected. I need attention. So instead of it looking like I'm seeking attention, I'm gonna ask a question to keep a conversation going.
I'm blatantly looking for attention right now. So check this out. I respect that. I respect the honesty. Like, yo, okay, you want something to do. Here we go.
Facts. You should say, you know what, guys, I could have gone to Google, but right now I just need some random conversation. Like, I really do want to know the answer to this, but I'd rather discuss it with a group of people that I barely know instead of going to Google.
Exactly. There you go. And now, I can entertain dumb shit like that. Just give me honesty with it. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Facts. I'm all about honesty, too. I'd rather for someone to be upfront and honest with me no matter what it is.
Yeah. That's all I need in return. Just
exactly.
Tell me, yo, I'm about to engage you in something stupid as hell right now, but I ain't got nothing better to do. You want to entertain yourself? Let's do this. And I'll hop in, because I'm a lame too. Like, let's do it.
Don't call people lame just because you consider yourself one.
I'm trying to bring y'all down with me, right?
Misery loves company. So you don't ask me how I'm doing or what, Squeeze.
I
You just
am,
what's
Kareem.
going.
How was your weekend? How you been?
It doesn't count anymore because I had to ask you to
But
ask me
I
how I'm
mean, you
doing.
know what? I was gonna get back to it, but I feel like I kicked it off anyway. Like I was interested in the first place.
Whatever,
I am
man.
honestly interested, especially since you've been happy for me lately. So
I'm happy
how
for
you
you
been?
always. That's why you're here, first of all.
Thank you, Kareem, man. I really
Okay? I think you're dope. But it's not about you now. It's my turn. You already asked me how I'm doing. It's my I have the floor.
She's an a-hole, dude.
Very. Capricorn. Okay, so listen. No, I'm doing amazing, man. I'm looking forward to the fourth quarter. A lot of things have been happening for me out of the blue, which is crazy because I know a lot of people really don't keep up with like zodiac and manifesting and things like that. But for me, I like to be informed of everything. Like I want to know everything, spiritual, zodiac, whatever. Like I like learning, especially when it's things that have helped me better myself. So basically, if you really look at zodiacs for Capricorn, it always says that things come to us through hard work. Like that's basically a part of our nature. Like we're gonna always be hard workers. Nothing really comes to Capricorns easy, and it's basically like set up. The universe is set up that way for us.
Very
But
true.
and if you talk to any Capricorns, they'll tell you like we do work hard, but for the most part, it's because we have to. Like nothing really comes easy. We just make it look easy because we're used to working hard for what we want because we know it doesn't come to us like
She
that.
preaching now, man. Now she
You know what
preaching.
I mean? So because we're used to working for things and because we're used to things coming to us after we've worked hard for it, we have mastered the craft of making what we do look easy. So people think that everything we want comes to us. It does, but what you don't see is the goat, like those pictures of the goats hanging on to the side of the cliff by a little piece of pebble with their hooves, and they make it to the top. That's literally what it's like to be a Capricorn every day of your life.
Man, every freaking day.
Every
This
freaking day.
close to falling off and being nothing.
Exactly.
One step away from greatness.
Man, you know what I mean? So we just literally hang there and we're looked down and we're like, man. But then we look up and just, you know what? I can make it. I made it this far. I might as well keep going. I mean, I don't see any other pieces of rock that I could put my hooves on, but I'm gonna see what I can do.
I'm gonna step out here anyway.
Exactly. So when I say that things have been falling into my lap, it's weird for me because I'm so used to working extremely hard for stuff. So, but I guess I could say that this is the fruit of my labor. If I want to be
appreciate when somebody throw you a bone, man.
exactly, I have to say that it's the fruit of my labor, and it's not even like somebody throwing me a bone. It's just like certain things that I've worked toward, they're coming to me, and it's just like, wow, I've been working towards this for years. It's finally here.
When you actually see a result, though, it's kind of crazy. It's like, yeah.
Man, because when you're used to working hard and it finally comes, it seems like it fell into your lap because it's like, wait a minute.
I was just listening, to these interviews about people giving up after 2-3 years of chasing their dreams, and it's like, yo, I've been doing this shit 12 years, and you want to quit now? Like,
bro, it's been like
I was 10 years in.
16 years for me. It's been 16 freaking years.
But you know what? It's like once you start rolling, it's like, damn, this was all worth it.
Yeah. But you know, I will say one of the weird things though about this day and age is because with a lot of us, like you, me, a bunch of other people in Cleveland, I would say when we were having, not saying we're not having fun now, but when we were having the most fun and when we were outside, it was no social media like this.
Absolutely.
So it kind of sucks because people see us in our moment of, like, I don't want to say our downtime, but it's kind of like we're doing our behind the scenes thing. We're like, okay, I've been doing this for so long. I really got to put my head down, go behind the scenes, not really be with a whole bunch of people and work on what I've been working on because I've been doing this for so long. There's certain goals. And then I think everyone's like, oh, Big Squeeze, okay, that's cool. I see you DJing now. It's like, nigga, I've been doing shows.
Bruh, don't even talk to me about DJing. Just relax.
You're right. Exactly. Because sometimes I sit back and I'm like, man, because somebody...
half the content that I haven't had the opportunity to upload,
man,
you will have a different understanding.
Exactly. And that's something that I am working on, is just going back and just looking through all my old content. Like, you need to put this up here because because this is the thing that always makes me laugh. It's like people think I'm the GOAT with the little bit that I have put out. Right. I'm like, imagine if I put out all the stuff that's just sitting in the vault. Like, who would I be?
Yeah, I agree.
If you're giving me GOAT status now, like, you haven't even seen 95% of all the things that I've done.
But at that point, it's like you kind of, I think this is the time to do it, though, when you already got the established audience, so you go out and show them the come up. You know what I mean? Because
that's true.
I had a lot of vaulted material because I was scared to put it out against, like, you know, if it's old stuff, I don't want to put it up against something in 4K. Or something, you know what I mean, 1080p, and I'm sitting here with just 480. So I was like, I don't want to do that. So that's why I was holding on to a lot of old stuff. But after a while, it's like, let it loose, man. Let them see it.
Exactly, and that's kind of what same here. But I feel like, and see, I think for a lot of Capricorns, like, we're in competition with ourselves. A lot of times, people think that we're in competition with them, but really, Capricorns are in competition with ourselves. Like, we are so hard on ourselves. We don't have room to compete with anybody else. Like, I am so hard on myself, and I'm so focused on what I don't even get I haven't even been able to, like I should, enjoy all the things that I've accomplished because I'm so busy focused on all the stuff I haven't done, all the stuff I haven't put out, all the stuff that I want to do. So,
the sad part is, and also the dope part is, you may never actually do it. Like, you may never stop and enjoy this shit. Now, that could be two things. That could either be you working so hard that you ain't paying attention, or you elevating so much that's not even impressive anymore. So it's kind of, it depends on which way things are moving.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it. I'm going to put myself out regardless because I feel like I said, even though people can look at you and be like, oh, Squeeze, you doing doggone things. You got this going on. They're real proud of you. It's kind of like, I don't know how it is for everybody else, but I think for Capricorns it's like, bro, you don't even really know me. Like, you lightweight disrespecting what I really do because if I pull out all this old shit.
And then on top of that, they don't know, like, they don't understand what your goals are. So it's like, it's impressive. Wait till you see what I'm trying to do, nigga.
Exactly. But let me show you where I've been. You know what? I was being a little humble 10 years ago. So, you know, I didn't upload or I didn't promote that Adina Howard's interview like I should have. Even if it is in 480, I'm going to put it out there because it's me sitting next to it. Look, you're about to see this dark-ass video backstage of me sitting next to Mrs. T-shirt and my panties on. Don't play with me.
Right. This is the shit I've been doing.
Exactly. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. So, speaking of don't play with me, one of the topics that we're going to be talking about is gatekeeping in the entertainment scene in Cleveland. The rest of the topics that we're going to be talking about is Will and Jada Pinkett, R. Kelly, and I added the Diddy and JD versus and Fat Joe live. Now, I'm not going to really get into it. I just want you to talk about who you got for the JD and JD because I can't talk about it. I have an interview so I can't give my stuff away. So even though we've been talking about our GOAT status, let's put that on the shelf real quick, because that would be a good segue into talking about gatekeeping in Cleveland. But I want you to tell everybody first of all, did you watch the Fat Joe live?
Yes. Yes, I did. I watched it. I actually watched the entire thing, beginning to end. I even watched the DJs warm up because I was ever since Technician to DJ, I started giving the DJs more respect in the beginning of those. But they ain't gonna live up to his status. Anyway.
At all, man.
The Fat Joe joint. I lost a little respect for Fat Joe, man. I gotta be honest. I felt like
man.
He came out trying to create the energy Jadakiss had, and that nigga just landed on his face. It looked stupid. He looked stupid.
Man, because you know what? It's like one of those times where you see the popular kid do something and you feel like you're on the level of the popular kid, so you come out and you try to hop on it, and then everybody lets you know real quick, like, nah, dude. Because Fat Joe has never been on the status that the Lox have been on. People knew that the Lox could possibly shoot you. Most of the time when people think about Fat Joe, you're really thinking about Lean Back. And
I gotta be honest, Fat Joe
and sex songs.
This is what I feel like. I feel like in the industry, if you've been around a certain length of time, you are automatically considered a legend.
Fact.
And I think being around, I think longevity deserves to be commended. However, just because you've been around 20 years does not guarantee you legendary status, in my opinion. And I don't view Fat Joe as a legend. I think he sees himself as a hip-hop legend. I mean, I respect Fat Joe. I like a lot of his songs, but I don't view him as a legend. So him out, he feel like he doper than he is, and it's like he giving GOAT energy without being a GOAT. It's weird as hell.
But you know what they say, Squeeze? If you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around 5 rich people, 5 GOATs, you'll be the 6th. So I think that the mentality of his peers is rubbing off on him. So you can't really fault him for that. No, he's not. To me, I feel the same way as you. I don't think Fat Joe is a GOAT. However, I think the energy that he brings comes from the level of people that's in his circle.
I don't even like hate the fact that he believe he's a legend. I just feel like don't expect. I don't even really. Okay, so let's say he is a legend, right?
No, I get what you're saying. It's like you're expecting to have the same level of reception as a Jadakiss.
Exactly. Like I don't.
And you shouldn't expect to have that level of reception.
Yeah, like even you should demand your respect, but you shouldn't expect that level of respect. Because I think you understand that you haven't had that level type of career. I think you know that. You have to know that. So, I don't know. I thought the battle was going to be cool. I thought it was going to be a little closer than what it was. I did not think Ja Rule would do him the way he did him. That was bad. Like, and then
I did.
I think that's what
did.
I thought Ja Rule was going to win, but I thought Joe was going to make it closer than that. And on top of that, I feel like when Joe realized he was getting his ass whooped, that's when he chose to turn on the disrespect.
Man, and that I didn't like that at all. I didn't like the apology. I didn't like any of it. Like, I really didn't.
The apology was trash too.
Straight trash. Not only that, but when he apologized on Twitter and he misspelled Vita's name. It's just like
yeah, and that's the thing too. Like all the interviews, he was kind of trying to create the tension. Like he was trying to create it from the very beginning. He like, oh, this is not a battle, it's a celebration. Ja Rule, my brother, but if he do want to bring that energy, I'm ready for that. Like, nobody wants that shit, Ja. Like, we all, like, Ja Rule is there to get his streams high again. That's it.
Right.
the
I
same
was
way
gonna
every
say, I
other
don't know
artist
what
did.
made
They had
him
to get
think
their
that.
fucking streaming numbers up.
Exactly, and I don't know what made him think that Ja Rule was gonna come with that energy, because Ja Rule understood and understands like what that type of energy did for his career, and
Exactly.
he's not trying to relive that. He's like, look, bro, I'm here to have fun.
Yes.
I'm here to see if people actually remember who I am. I'm here to like make some of those jokes about me go away, and remind everybody of the GOAT status that I have.
I will say, I think it took some of the heat off Ja Rule and his own Fat Joe.
Yeah.
He already was looked at sort of lame, but now it's like, nigga, you a super lame now. Like, you
man, look. Exactly, man. He pretty much made himself look just like that Beijing beard that he constantly paints on his face. So
that bitch be
I wish he would. Man, I wish he would stop. Like, bruh, why do you Beijing your 5 o'clock shadow on? I don't like that. I don't like that.
Nigga
I don't like that.
Is so like smooth, like what's that nigga Captain Underpants? Like that's what he like.
And then he Beijings the beard. It's like, Joe, you don't come on, crap. You don't have to do that. You really don't.
It's all bad.
I wish sometimes men will understand, just like women. It's a lot of stuff that we don't have to do, and you guys don't have to do. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, you really don't.
Is
like
that
ladies,
the equivalent of like the ladies doing the eyebrows,
and the lashes? Man, like, it's nothing wrong with having regular, normal lashes. Like, you can even wear fake lashes and put mascara on, but can it just look somewhat natural? I hate when people. I don't hate. I just don't understand the snuffleupagus lashes. But it is what it is. Like, that's your face. That's your face, Ma. But I really want to. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I just have an issue with ladies getting these gigantic booties.
Oh man.
That's the part that I think women should realize, that men are gonna look at naked butts regardless.
That's a fact.
I'm not saying that the bigger the booty isn't going to really push you in a different category in entertainment, but honestly, you don't need it to be that gigantic.
I mean, a flat back going to get love just like a fat back.
You know how many flat backs got babies?
All of them.
Exactly. You know how many bad body built women have babies?
All of them.
Exactly. It's just like the Beijing beard. Like, dude, stop. You don't have to Beijing the beard.
I don't know, man.
Guys, fellas.
It make them feel like you gotta stay youthful.
We like the salt and pepper. That's just sexy.
I mean, I don't know. I ain't there yet. I ain't trying to go there.
We like facial hair, but I'm just saying, it doesn't. If you got a Beijing or 5 o'clock shadow, just stop.
I would like to believe I would let my shit gracefully turn gray, but I don't know. I ain't never.
That'll be dope. Papa Smurf squeeze. That'll be dope.
But ain't that some sort of pressure though? Like, you know what I mean?
How?
Like, y'all ladies don't feel a certain way when y'all get gray hair. Like,
I don't know.
It's sexy sometimes, right? But at the same time, it's like it's still a constant reminder. Like, yo, and then.
Some people gray early though.
Fat Joe, like he in the studio with all these new boys, and he looking gray with the fucking egghead. That nigga like, nah, I gotta get rid of this.
But that's what I'm saying though. I wish he would just go full beard. I just don't like the 5 o'clock shadow Beijing. It's like he stippled it on there. Like he took a stippling brush. It was like, and then spray paint a line. I'm not his wife. His wife loves it.
Nah, his wife. His wife don't love it. She just give him money. He give her money all the time.
As soon as she say, Joey, I don't like the beard, he be like, go shopping. All right, I got you.
The nigga, I mean, I think I would like to believe I would go Ebro. You know what I'm saying? Ebro marketed himself as the old man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the black
Yeah.
and gray is what he do. It's cool. He the old man. It's all right. I would like to think that's the
Exactly.
route I would go. I would try to phase toward that route because I don't want to fake it.
Just like I said, you fatbacks have babies, salt and pepper beards still get vagina.
That's a fact.
Probably more. We like that. A lot of ladies, we will admit to you guys, we actually like that.
I
We
have
would
seen
rather, I mean, look at Mr. Big when he came out on his verses with his salt and pepper beard. All the ladies had him as their man crush Mondays.
That's true. Y'all ladies did jump on Mr. Biggs when he came out.
Man, yes. Like, we would rather see a salt and pepper beard with nice hydrated skin than to see you guys spray paint that mug black, because we know.
So, okay, so like...
But if you dye it, at least do it right. Make it look natural. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so at the end of the day, okay, so let's say we know it's an average age, right, where you kind of low-key like, yo, even if she cute, I ain't going that old. I ain't cracking no lady that old, right? So, like, we ain't talking about Angela Bassett. That's like how old is she, like 62 or something?
Yeah, she's like 60, 65 or
But that's
in
like
her 60s.
Okay, but Angela Bassett is like a cheat code, right? But let's say the average church lady who's 60 years old. A nigga like, yo, I'm not smashing that. That's an old lady. Well, y'all was going crazy over Mr. Biggs, and he's like 80.
Yeah.
Y'all would really give it up to like an 80-year-old man? You got that much trust in him?
Trust?
You trust he still know what he doing at 80? That's like...
Man, that's Mr. Big. Mr. Big, but you're asking us about our Angela Bassett.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So it doesn't matter.
What's your average age then? Because I say 50, 58 is the cutoff for me.
I don't know, because it just depends. It depends. It's not even, honestly, sometimes it's not about the whole motion thing. Sometimes it's not about that.
Well, I mean, so what would it be about with Mr. Big?
I don't know.
It's like, after he threw singing, what the hell y'all gonna talk about? What the hell? That nigga 80.
His wife is 42 or something like that. You didn't know that? His wife is young. And they've been together for minutes. So apparently Mr. Cheeks got enough conversation to keep the attention of women younger than him.
You right. Maybe you own something. Maybe, I don't know. I just know it's a crazy age to be giving up the buzz.
Well, listen, my great aunt will be 89 this year, and I promise on everything, when you go to her house, she is not lacking conversation. She has a lot of stuff to talk about. And it's very interesting. Sometimes it's the same stories over and over again because she forgot she told her that story already. But she really does have a lot of stuff to talk about, and it's really interesting, especially if you drive her places. She'll tell you what used to be here, the Huff riots, all kinds of stuff. Like, they're very knowledgeable. You're interested in the History Channel, you can learn a lot from sitting with an 80-year-old.
Shit, I'm going to give it a try then.
So, keeping with that, Joe, did you watch the live with him, Snoop Dogg, Diddy, and JD? Because everyone's talking about the Diddy versus JD. So what did you think about that? What did you think about Diddy?
You sent it to me, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? And I went straight to it.
Yes.
So I think first off, I don't think Puff's scared. Let me just say that. I don't think Puff's scared.
He's never scared.
I just feel like Puff is underestimating JD though. Like, I think ultimately Puff will probably mess around and win. Mm-hmm. But I think it'd be a lot closer than people saying, because JD got some joints, man. JD got some joints, and I know in versus order, the order is important too, because you can build momentum. So you mess around and let JD build some momentum, man. I think All right, so basically, I'm gonna treat it like a sports game.
Mhm.
Puff 2016. Puff.
Okay.
That's how I would label it.
Okay. Okay. Because JD does have a lot more. I think JD has a lot more ballads than Puffy.
Hold on, am I scoring that right? It's 20 songs altogether. I
Yeah.
think Puff will win by 4. That's what I'm trying to
I
say.
knew that. I got what you were saying.
All right.
I think that you think JD has more ballads than Puffy. Do you think that's what would make him eventually lose, if you want to say? Because I mean, he's JD. He's never a loser. But
Yeah,
you
I
get what
think
I'm saying.
if he go into that Mariah bag and that Usher bag, then he gonna really be tugging at the heartstrings. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think you gotta. It's always that question of what did Diddy actually do as far as the production. So it's like I know personally, and I truly believe that Diddy had his hand on a lot of the early music.
Mhm.
But it's like, what can we prove? Like, what can you like? That's the only question I think.
You
I think
can't, and that's what he's banking on.
Question, huh?
I said you can't prove it, and that's what he's banking on.
And yeah, and I think that's what the internet is going. That's the problem. The internet gonna be on there with like, well, JD really did this. Did Puff do this? Now all of a sudden it's a credibility question, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering if Puff even want to put himself out there like that. I don't know.
Puff said he's ready. He's from New York. You know how people from New York are.
Well, what else he gonna say? But he ain't signed the contract. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Cause I don't know, man. Because JD wasn't playing by the rules, and you know, I want to say what I want to say, but people got to tune in to Corey Bucket's show to hear what I have to say about this versus that's coming up.
JD understand that he need this fight way more than Puff. So JD
Pretty
trying
much.
to sell it. He trying to sell it.
He is. But the thing is that the way that Puffy sells stuff is exactly how he did on live. Because Puffy's like, the crowd's going to go crazy regardless of if they hear it on live or not.
Yeah. I think Puff, see, and that's the thing too, like JD.
Puff is a showman. JD's not.
I think the difference too is what kind of verses will it be? Because if we run in a marathon, I think JD might fuck around and take it. Because overall, JD might have more hits, but the size of the hits that Puff has, that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Puff got hits that are 20 times bigger than JD's. Like JD, his biggest song can't touch All About the Benjamins.
And I think because he mentioned, he's like, oh, you don't have a song that went diamond. And it's like, okay, but right. You can't play that 20 times.
That's true. That's true. However, let's say this. Puff has access to any and all songs in the Bad Boy library.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
whether you produced it or not. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm.
Songs,
exactly. Exactly. So
that's the disadvantage for JD.
Exactly. And it's like, I mean, and for JD, it just depends on if the ballads that have hit the top sales are songs that the majority of people are actually fans of. Right. You know, and like what Diddy said during that live, he was like, no one ever goes to the club or to a party and say throwing that Jermaine Dupri song. And I had to agree with him with that.
That's a fact.
Like, regardless of how much people love Mariah, no one requests Mariah Carey songs.
Exactly. You can't listen to All About the Benjamins and then the next song be some Mariah Carey song. That shit ain't gonna work. You can't do that. You cannot do that. So I think Puff, you know what? The more we're talking about it, I think Puff gonna win by more than 4.
If the battle is based on feeling in the party,
exactly. See, it's like a battle rap. You know what I'm saying? It's like on first watch, who took it in the room versus when I watched it later and broke down the bar.
Exactly.
So, Puffy definitely gonna take it in the room. He's a better performer. He a better performer.
Exactly. That's like listening to a Jay-Z album when you first get it. You listen to it for the production, and then you keep playing it like 444, and you hear all the double entendres. Or you watch a Jay-Z interview in 2021, and he explains a story about his life, and then you go back to Reasonable Doubt, and you're like, oh, that's what 22 Twos was about. What?
Yeah. Or when he double back and he'd speak on like the time when he shot his brother and shit. And
yes.
Then he talked about it in one song, and then later on, 3 albums later, he'd give you more details about the same situation. That
yes.
Shit. Yeah.
Like when he stabbed Rivera, and he was just like, he talked about it, but didn't really talk about it, but he let you know he did it, but in the same way, like that's none of your business.
Right. Don't worry about why it happened, nigga. I had to do it though.
Exactly. So I mean, so but what you're saying is probably going to be like some Jay-Z double entendre. You won't get this until after it's over type of battle.
I feel like it's not going to happen, though. I mean, like, I just feel like...
You don't think so?
I feel like JD not on this level. And I mean, I don't disagree with that. I just feel like Puff...
I wish JD would have played some songs during that live.
Yeah, I mean, he was reaching. He had to do something. JD back was against the wall. He should have. He should have played something during that live. That's my only disappointment with him. But long to get into it.
No one cared. I don't even remember what song it was.
And then, but it was crazy because he like sign the contract.
And everyone's like, just do it for the culture. No, everybody's like, come on, bro, you already wealthy. Just play the music for the freaking culture. We're still gonna tune into the versus battle. Just play some music for the culture. That was the only part that pissed me off, was how he kept saying no. But then he was like, I'm gonna come to your house every day and stand outside. I'm like, so you rather stand outside this man's house instead of just playing some records on live? Like, what? What sense does that make? Zero. None whatsoever.
You know what though, Puff occupied, man. He too busy smashing Bow Wow's baby mama, man.
And Young Miami.
No,
listen.
Who is Bow Wow's? What's his Bow Wow's baby mama name?
Joey Chavez. Joey. But he was hanging out with Young Miami too at the same time.
From my understanding, that's a rap right now, and the Bow Wow thing is a real thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Hey, listen, Puffy is a wealthy 57-year-old man. See, that's their version of Mr. Biggs.
I see Puff though, man.
That's their Mr. Biggs.
Puff is too old for this shit, man. I don't know. Man.
That's what Roy said.
Puff is too old for this shit. I don't approve.
Yeah, man.
My guy, I understand you dope. We rock with you. We love Diddy. You don't act like an old man. We get it. But and let reality set in, bro.
The knees act like an old man, though.
Who that?
His knees. I said his knees act like an old man.
Diddy 57 years old, man.
Man, but I think he had to have surgery on his knees, though. That's why.
That's more reason why you don't need no 30-something-year-old chick, dog.
I don't think, is she 30? I think she's like 20-something. I know Young Miami's in her 20s.
31, maybe. I don't even know.
Listen, man. One thing I can say is that at least Diddy's Beijing looks natural.
I give you that. But Diddy got the brain. This shit better look like.
Man.
Oh, you seen Bron new lineup?
No.
My man LeBron is back.
Wait. And I did, you know what? I did see his new Laker pictures, but I didn't even pay attention.
This shit look natural. LeBron is
what?
Back.
Yes, billionaire. Look, he got that billionaire hairline. Let's go.
My thing is.
Wait. So now that we mentioned, now that we mentioned Diddy and LeBron's hairline, let's go back to Joey real quick, because you said that Joey has to realize that he's not on the GOAT level of some of his peers. Do you think that his beard proves that now that we've mentioned what Diddy's hairline and LeBron's hairline looks like? Did I lose Squeeze? Squeeze!
Yo,
You're back.
Yeah,
Yes. Wait, let me make sure we're still recording. Yes. Okay. So my question was, earlier you said that Joey needed to realize that he didn't have the same GOAT status as his peers. So we're talking about Diddy's lineup and LeBron's lineup. So seeing as how Diddy and LeBron's hair looks compared to Joey's, does that prove, or should that prove to him he's not on the same GOAT status as his friends?
He ain't on their level. He can't come back like they did. That's funny.
Look, guys, people that are paying attention, like at the end of the day, look, you get older, your body changes, your hair changes. Like we respect everything that Joey Crack has done for Terror Squad in New York. We just having fun, but
if I'm LeBron though, I'm just coming out like, yo, I'm LeBron James and I just got Bosley. Like, look at my new hair, nigga. Like, I'm not ashamed of that. I don't get it. I don't get why he.
Right.
That's something I never understand about that dude.
He's a Capricorn. We don't do that shit. Like, either you notice or you don't.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Look.
But I mean, at the same time, like, it
doesn't matter. Listen, he's like, it doesn't matter. Does it? And that's why he doesn't have to say anything. He's like, I know you see it. Why discuss it? It looks good, right?
Go ahead and take advantage, because that could be a check easy. I know he don't need no more checks. But shit,
exactly. He already get easy ones when he step on that court. You know, he like, hey, you see it. You see it.
Yo, shout out to Rich Paul. I see you, my guy.
Hey, man. Hey, he's over there international. As you guys call it, buns. International buns.
Adele fine.
Adele was fine before she lost weight. She just,
really was.
She was. Adele's always been pretty. There was never anything wrong with her. She just improved on greatness. That's all she did.
That's a fact. Adele is fine as hell right now, though.
Man. I mean, you know how amazing it is to see someone from Cleveland with Adele? Like, what?
That's crazy. And it's like, because, you know, I had just hooked up with Candy or whatever, but me and Adele was already, you know, doing our little one too. And I guess because I had came this way, Rich was able to slide in that.
Okay. So I'm glad that we are recording, because then that lets everyone know you was cheating on me then.
Hold on. Now that's
with Adele.
That's not factual. Adele and you, that was a different time. That was
No, it's not.
That was a different time frame.
Let me see how you clean it up, Squeeze.
Different time frame, Cream. You know that.
Clean it up, Squeeze.
That was, what year was, okay, I was 2000, exactly.
Uh-huh. That's your answer? That's your answer?
It's hot in here. you not hot?
To look at, yes.
Yeah.
Temperature-wise, no. I'm not in the hot seat.
I was feeling some heat.
I bet you were. Listen, man, this is hilarious because we continuously give people, we continuously feed into people's unnecessary thoughts.
That narrative.
That whole narrative about us.
But you know what? That narrative has been around for about, 10 years now.
Yes.
Like a long ass time.
Man, yes. Certain people that was close to you even believed that.
Way close.
They wanted to not like me, but they couldn't.
It's like she went out of her way to make it to the point where she didn't like you, and now it's like she trying to be your best friend.
It's like, bruh, because you know sometimes when you make a whole story up in your head and then you realize that your story was just you, and then you feel stupid, but no one else knows that you felt stupid, so now you gotta like make up for it by being extra nice.
Overly nice. But you know what? You can get lost in your own head though. That's some ill shit. That's some ill,
man. Very ill.
Me being like incredibly fine, like that ain't help. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it. I'm just saying.
If you guys don't remember, what was it, the first episode you came on with your shirt off? Was it that one? You came on here.
That might have been our second episode.
The second one? You showing your chest? You came on here with your chest out.
Hey man, Taco Tuesdays, baby. Taco meat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. We definitely continue to play into that narrative. That's the asshole in us. It is what it is.
That's the Capricorn way, man.
Man, absolutely. Think what you want to think, and then it's on you. We didn't ask you to think into that.
I didn't tell you to say. I didn't say that shit. That's what you ran with. Go ahead.
You ran with it from some giggles and jokes.
Go ahead and run with it. Yeah, that's what we do, nigga.
Like literally. I'm not going to argue. That's what I was going to say. Like, I'm not about to argue with you over a hypothetical story you made up in your mind.
Feel what you want, my guy. I didn't tell you. Go ahead, shit. Ball in your court. So, what you think about this motherfucking bubblehead ass Jada Pinkett, man? This bitch she tell me personally. She called me, because that's how I talk to the media these days. You know what? I'm such a, in my head, I'm such a big time interviewer. Like, I am like a big time media guy in my head.
Okay. So you have media stories in your head the way other people have stories about us in their head.
Well, the same, exactly. But except my stories be the same story that you reading on the internet right now, except for like, they called and told to me personally. When I tell the story. Yeah, I'm a liar. I'm a liar. That's what I do.
Okay, yeah, so tell me what did Jada disclose to you?
Yeah, so Jada tells me that even though she's 50 years old, she's trying to figure out how to love people. Now, her age is not the important factor here. I think the important factor here is that she's been in a marriage for over 20 years. Who the hell has she been loving for the last 2 decades?
Herself.
She don't know how to love.
Herself.
Herself, huh?
Herself. Okay. Let me tell you something. This is what's hard about this topic for me is the fact that
she's the woman. She representing y'all. That's the one hard part.
Yes and no. Well,
y'all gotta
no, for me, it's back in the day. It was when I was younger. It was either Jada Pinkett or what's her name from Love Jones? I'm sorry, I can't remember her name right now.
Love Jones?
Love Jones.
I always think Love and Basketball. I was about to say
No,
something.
not Sanaa Lathan, but Love Jones with
Oh, with
she had
Lorenz
to
Tate.
yes. Can't think of her name either.
Fucking shush me. 35.
Who shushed you?
You the same person on YouTube asking everybody the name of the chick instead of just Googling the bra.
I don't have my other phone in here.
Her name is Nia Long.
Yes. So, back in the
My
day,
baby.
it was either Nia Long or Jada
I didn't know
Pinkett.
she
They
was in
both
that
pretty
movie.
much, yeah, she was the main person. What are you talking about?
I'm not sure if I ever seen that movie.
You've never seen Love Jones? Let's just stop the topic real quick. Squeeze.
At least, this is the thing. They all the same, right? Love Jones.
No, not
Love and
Love. No, it's
Basketball,
not. No, it's not.
The Wood.
No.
Those are all
Shut
the same
up.
movies.
Shut up. Shut up.
They all the same fucking movies.
Shut up. It's over. This is over. We're done. Podcast over. Hang up. I'm done.
What's the other one? Best Man?
None. You need to watch Love Jones, and you definitely need to go on Spotify and play the Love Jones soundtrack. Play it for you and Candy.
Brown Sugar. All these movies are the same.
Okay, anyway. So you either looked up to Nia Long or you looked up to Jada Pinkett. And because I'm not saying that the media pit them together, but they were pretty much, in movies, you either was going to see Nia Long or you was going to see Jada Pinkett. And they kind of had a similar career. You know what I mean? And for some reason, I was Jada. Because
I know why.
I was Team Jada.
She hooked you
Why?
from when she was on when she went to Hillman.
Probably.
I don't.
It was just something about because you know what it was, like Nia Long seemed like an adult to me. Like she was so sexy. She had the body, and I was a younger girl looking at her, so I couldn't see myself in Nia at that time because she was this super sexy woman. And Jada Pinkett was like, I was never around the way girl, but I can relate more to Jada because she looked like a kid. She was
like
cute.
A 13-year-old boy.
I don't want to say that, but she was like, Jada was, this is the difference. Jada was like the cute sexy. Nia was like sexy. You know what I mean?
Yes, she's a grown woman.
Yes. Like Nia was coming out with like lingerie and the hips was boom, boom, pow, pow, and the boobs was, she was fine. Exactly. Like Nia Long was fine. So it was like, I can't be Nia right now. But I could emulate Jada Pinkett because she's pretty too, but it wasn't like lingerie sexy pretty. She was just pretty.
She was like a left eye. She was like a left eye pretty.
Yeah, she was just pretty. So I saw myself more in Jada. Like my mom picked me up from the hairdresser and I had cut all my hair off and dyed it blonde. And I sat in the back seat because I knew my mom, the look my mom gave me, I had long hair too. Man, I don't even know how I survived that. Like I took that Essence magazine. Look, when Jada was on the cover of Essence in that little silk purple dress, I took that to my hairdresser and was like, give me this.
Damn, crazy.
And she gave it to me. My mom picked me up, and my mom is a Christian woman. She doesn't curse. But I swear to God, in Christian ways, in Christian language, my mom said in so many words, what the hell? I'm about to beat your ass. She didn't say those words exactly, but she should have. So that for me is more, it's not even like the whole woman thing. It's just I've always somewhat just been Team Jada. And then as you get older and you become an adult and then you see adults for adults as adults, it's kind of like, wow, I never realized you were this type of person.
So,
and I'm not judging her, but she seems selfish.
Like, because I know y'all may have never crossed paths, but is it kind of like never meet your idols type of thing?
Honestly, there are a few people that I never wanted to meet, and basically she and Will were people that I wanted to meet, but not really, because I I just wanted them to be Will and Jada. I think right now what I'm seeing with Jada, because I'm a non-judgmental person. But what I would like to say is
Mary Styles.
I don't want to call her that. I just find that Jada is it seems to me that she's somewhat selfish.
Absolutely. And she wants it all.
She does. And I think that Will loved her from the beginning and up until now way more than Jada has ever loved him.
I agree. And Will said he come from a traditional marriage, and Jada is non-traditional. So the whole open marriage thing was something he basically agreed to doing. Versus
you know what's hard though for me is the fact that Gammy is on the red table with Jada and Willow, and Gammy and Jada seem so opposite. So it just makes me wonder, where did Jada get all of these? It's like she says, I grew up like this, but Gammy is like, girl, it's me and my man.
Like that, right.
Her mom is so not here for a lot of things that Jada is here for. That's why I said that Jada needs to just be honest and just say that it always has been and it always will be about her until she decides for it not to be, instead of just saying, well, this is how I grew up, because your mom's on your show and she's showing something completely opposite of what you're saying you're used to.
I think in actuality, Jada really like wish she would have married. Like, she clearly got a thing for rappers and musicians and shit. I feel like she wish she would have married Gucci instead of Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, she loved Tupac and ended up marrying Will Smith. Like, it don't add up. This bitch want a thug.
It does add up because she understood what she needed to marry in order to have the lifestyle that she wanted.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's where the whole selfishness comes from. She knew. It's like a girl who
she understands it's her last shot. She like, yo, I'm getting old. I need to get out here and start thought now. I don't need this nigga no more. I'm about to go ahead and do my thing.
No, this is what I think it's always been. I think that, like I said, I think that Will really loved Jada when he first met her. I feel like he was really attracted to her. I feel like he always wanted something traditional. I also think that with his first marriage, like as far as his first wife, it was more so his work schedule and everything broke them apart. I think that really bothered Will a lot because he always wanted this family that he never had. And Jada was willing to play whatever role he needed her to play so that she could secure the life that she wanted. Because of what Jada came, like her mom admitted, there was drugs and different things that happened. You know, Jada came from Baltimore. We all know how certain areas of Baltimore, how hard it is to live there. It can be. So it's like Jada was she was an up and coming actress. We all know, especially back then, black actresses don't get paid what they're worth. Will was a top billing artist and also a top billing actor, and he was attracted to Jada Pinkett. She secured the bag. She secured, man, listen, I think the reason why Jada came up with this whole, let's not be,
even when you don't want to fuck around and say the bag.
I don't want to say that. I don't. Because it's her. You want to know why? Because I like Will so much that I just really don't want to put him in simp status. Because so many people, because here's my thing. When people do stuff to you, it's not your fault. And a lot of people are making things that Jada did to him his fault. And we aren't in their relationship. But this is just, my answer short is, I think Jada understood the assignment of what she wanted for her life. She knew Will could give it to her. But like you said, she wanted a thug. A thug couldn't give her what she wanted. She knew Will could. So she gave Will what he wanted, but then she decided to make their relationship open so that she could get thug dick and still be married to the money. Will was so caught up in, he lives in Hollywood, he's a big star, he's Will Smith, he already had another divorce that happened in the public. I can't get divorced again. I can't have a scandal. I'm non-cursing, happy-go-lucky Will Smith. So I'm going to pretend like I'm happy with this decision just so I can keep my marriage and the look of who we are.
You think Will got some side pieces?
He did. He definitely did. He did. And he admitted that he did.
He has to.
Yeah. He admitted that he did, but he doesn't want to talk about his because he didn't break any rules.
I feel like Will did allow a lot of this bullshit to happen. I think because if he should stood up and been a man years ago and made a decision and cut that little short midget bitch off, get her out of here.
But he couldn't.
I see what you're saying. It will fuck up his brand. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it was all about branding, and I think that Will thought that he could do a whole bunch of stuff to make her love him the way that he knew that she didn't. Because he said that in one of their Red Table Talks, though.
With that being said, though, is this his time? Like, this is his way out, right?
He could.
The world is giving him sympathy. Like, this is his way out. He can sit back and be a victim right now. Like, yo, I mean, this entanglement is too much for me to bear. I got to get out of here. And he could be able to walk away without paying money, right?
He could, because they live in California. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that happens in California. Because I'm going to be real with you. Like, when you really look at Will Smith, the old Will Smith, and I'm not even talking about his age, but when you really look at him right now that he knows that the whole world knows what their life is like, he seems sad.
Yeah, he don't look the same at all.
He does not. He seems
embarrassed, like he do.
He seems. I don't need. Sometimes you're so hurt that embarrassment doesn't matter. I don't think he's embarrassed. I really and truly, genuinely feel like he's sad and he's hurt. His eyes look sad and his eyes look very hurt. And I think that now that their kids are old enough and Jada has Red Table Talked their relationship to the point where their kids know everything, he really could leave right now.
And I mean, and the worst part of it all is, this bitch was willing to embarrass this man like this for, how much money did she get for Red Table Talk?
I have no idea.
It wasn't crazy though. Like it didn't take much, is what I'm saying. Like, for her to just publicly embarrass this man in front of the world.
He cried.
Time after time after time, though. Like, she constantly embarrassing this nigga to the point where just on her own birthday, we supposed to be celebrating her birthday, and she out here like, I need to find out how to love. She's been married for 30 years. What the fuck you mean? Like, come on, man. Like,
that's why I said it really disappoints me because it's selfish. Because I would have never said, and the thing is like, she said it to her daughter as if she's not talking to her daughter about her dad.
That's crazy.
You just told your daughter that you haven't loved your dad in all this time.
You don't even love her dad. That's crazy. That's basically
but
what you're saying.
They said that Willow was the one that knew that they were having issues more than anybody else. So Willow probably already knew that shit. She probably was like, all right, thanks for letting everybody know, Mom, because she said in the other Red Table, when they were having the family discussion, and Willow was just saying that she was happy that they finally started talking and getting better and moving forward, because Willow said it was stressing her out. That was a part of her depression, because she was witnessing everything, because she's the youngest. And Jaden had moved out when he was 15. So Willow was around them the most. So she was experiencing a lot of the things that were going on in their marriage. And Willow was the one, as a kid, that told him they needed to get it together because it was bothering her.
Damn. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
It.
So I hope they work it out. You know, I'm not saying that whatever Will did in the dark, like, that's his business. And that's the thing. It's like, it's none of our business, but Jada keeps putting it out here for it to be our business. Right. I just respect Will for allowing whatever it was that he had going on to be whatever it was that he had going on. He's like, look, we talked about it. It's handled. The people know. I know. You know. That's it. There's nothing to do with anybody else.
My thing is, it was like, even after it happened, it was just like Jada took it upon herself to continue to blow it up, though. Because it was like, we all heard about it, and she like, well, let me just retweet this shit again, just in case y'all ain't really talking about it. It's like, damn, Jada, we tried to let it go. And she like, no, I got something else too, y'all.
Let me bring Willard to the table so I can make him cry while I sit here stone-faced. Yeah. I don't know, man.
You think they were trying
we
to
don't know
get that shit picked up by like a streaming service or something?
Like, it was picked up by Facebook. It's been on Facebook first.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Facebook. Like, you can't tell me they went like Hulu or something.
Man, Facebook got their show was a part of amongst the first shows for Facebook TV. It's on Facebook TV, not like regular Facebook. That's Facebook TV. That's separate. That's like their version of Hulu.
I know they got a nice bag for it, but it's just like,
yeah,
y'all were already rich. Like, that's what it took for y'all to just get. I don't know. I just don't.
As Will would say, he's rich.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
He's rich.
Everybody
has to get their own bag in their house. Will Smith is wealthy.
I don't trust Jada no more, man. I just don't fuck with her.
I hate to say that I think I might feel the same way.
Because think about it. Her biggest claim to fame is being either Jaden and Willow's parents, or Will Smith's wife. As a, like, nobody mentions Jada when it comes to actual acting. People don't really fuck with her. As an actor, as an actress, I would say her career is...
And you know why? I think it's her fault, though, because this is just me speculating, but she knew she didn't have to work. Like, even just think about it, you got like people like Meryl Streep, Denzel Washington, even Will Smith, who have already solidified, Viola Davis, all these people have already solidified themselves as, since we were talking about GOATs at the beginning of this, as GOATs in their field, and they still are working. Like, Will Smith is never not working. He works as if he's new in the business. Jada seems like she created the Red Table Talk, and she is content.
Which is probably how she started cheating, because she was just at the house with nothing to do.
It wasn't that she didn't have anything to do. She chose to have nothing to do.
Well, I'm saying regardless of the reason for it not having nothing to do, she ain't had nothing to do.
Man, you know how many times I've had nothing to do and my vagina stayed in my panties?
My thing is, just don't go in front of the world. Pull your husband who already crying and be like, babe, come here. Let's talk about that time I had fucked the other dude. Come here, listen to this. And he's
right.
That's messed up.
Hey, guess what, guys? I know it's my birthday. and I know that you guys are the reason all these surprises happen. I know that Willard's money pays for all of this stuff. But what I'm going to announce on my 50th birthday after he put so much money into all of this is that I never knew how to love.
Oh, my God. I think the worst part of it all is she would be a complete victim if the roles were reversed.
That's true.
If Will was doing this, the world would be attacking this man. Like,
yes. But you know what?
People who are sympathetic for Jada, like, she had never learned to love. Oh. Like, what the fuck, man?
You had 20-something years to learn to love. And one thing I am grateful for Will Smith is the fact that he has a mansion. Because imagine living in a regular person's house and your wife's just out here doing all this, and you got to pass by her every day. At least he can have his own wing and don't have to see her if he doesn't want to.
Imagine if they had to share the car.
That's what I'm saying. Because it was a pandemic, you know, Will likes to travel and do different things, so traveling was out the book. So that's the other thing that was crazy about this is that all of it happened during quarantine and the pandemic where he literally couldn't go anywhere. So that's what I'm saying for him. I'm happy for him that they have a huge plot of land and they got a mansion because going through this during the pandemic,
a one-room apartment,
man. And he had to go in there and cook his ramen noodles while she cooked her ramen noodles. He got to wait for her food to beep in the microwave before he can put his in and pretend like he doesn't see her.
Oh, my God. Then they bump each other a little bit. And then he
got to wait. Now he got to wait for her to get out the shower. Like, I don't even know what you or who you washing off, and I got to get in there after you.
So they got to knock on the door. Can you hurry up?
Right.
You're going to be in there all day. I got to pee.
Right.
Frustrated him.
So, man. So the cool thing for him is they live in a mansion and he has his own space. And he built his little studio in that garage. So happy for him for that.
I want to hear the hidden mixtape that we ain't heard yet. The Fuck Jada mixtape. I know that tape was crazy. And Will on there going hard. I know he is.
You know he is.
On some
and you know Jazzy Jeff. You know Jazzy Jeff had already scratched up some beats for him. Come on.
Y'all won't even know this is Will Smith.
Exactly. Because you know he got a bunch of curse words and everything on there. He's what's his name? Jordan Lucas is like Will's biggest fan. Man, they was get Jordan Lucas to ghostwrite some tracks for him. You know how fire?
You know what? Back in the day, artists used to release shit under other names, like alternate names. I wonder if Will got some shit on the internet under another name. And he just out here dissing people.
You know how dope that would be?
That would be crazy.
What if it like what's the internet? It's called the black something. What's the dark web?
The dark web, yeah.
What if there was like a dark web, but it was just for music?
That would be crazy. I would lose my mind.
All these artists has got all this underground. Yes.
Names, it's just music. That would be crazy.
That would be amazing to find. That would be amazing to discover.
That's kind of how like Kevin Durant had a fake Twitter, and he would go on to people accounts and say shit. That would be like the same thing. The alternate.
Will Smith, his name would be Old Dolph instead of Young Dolph. He'll be Old Dolph.
Old Dolph.
Yes.
Old Dolph there, fire through that nigga, let niggas have it.
Yes. I would love that. I would love that.
Off on the internet. Everybody hate Will Smith, but niggas love Old Dolph.
Exactly. I don't know who the hell this Old Dolph is. This nigga's fire.
You remember like Mike Jones and them? I hadn't seen them niggas for like 4 years. I was listening to their music for years before I seen them. And it was like when I finally saw these niggas, that's when I discovered like, oh, Paul Wall, white. Like, wow. and like, they were always screwed up, so I didn't know their actual voices sounded like.
Right.
I think Will Smith would pull it off, man.
He should do that. We should hop in his DMs and give him that gem.
He could pull that shit off, man. Let's do it.
He
Let's
could.
flood this shit.
We should do that. We should flood it. Speaking of flooded, man, our timelines have been flooded with this R. Kelly conviction.
Wow.
And I have a lot to say about this.
Wow. I mean,
let me give you some analogies real quick. Let me just give you some analogies. Black people with R. Kelly situation. R. Kelly gets convicted, finally. But what about all the white men? What about Elvis Presley? Are you streaming Elvis Presley's music? Do you even care about Elvis Presley? Huh? You just trying to hold a black man down. Well, say you're trying to hold a black man down. But on the flip side, it's fuck these niggas. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, we're so contradictory. We'll say Black Lives Matter, but then we're followed up with, but what about black on black crime? It's like, we always got a but what about. But what about the white men? Black Lives Matter, but what about black on black crime? And then when you say, okay, let's talk about black on black crime, then we'll say, free my nigga such and such. But on the flip side, we'll say, snitches get stitches. Like, do we know what we actually want? We'll say, nobody loves us, they don't care about us. But then we'll get on the internet and have a whole argument with 105 down the way versus up the way, or Cleveland versus Chicago. But my hood, my city, my block got the highest murder rate. Yeah, y'all ain't killing niggas as much as we killing niggas. But we'll say nobody loves us, nobody cares about us. And the end of my rant is, I really didn't realize how much black people loved R. Kelly. Like, I swear I haven't listened or thought about playing R. Kelly's music in so long. There's no scenario in my life where I'm like, you know what? That R. Kelly song would go great with what I'm doing right now. I could definitely vacuum my floor to some R. Kelly. I haven't played R. Kelly in so long. And all these black people on the internet make it seem like they cannot get through their day without listening to R. Kelly.
So, I'm on the fence with this one. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
I'm one of them people who fucking still listen to R. Kelly. And
really?
I didn't even realize I listened to the nigga as much as I do. I just didn't know. And let me tell you how often people still fucking with R. Kelly. You remember the song Slow Dance he had, the first song? Hey, mister. Man, I played that in the club. I played that in the club Saturday when I was DJing. Spot went fucking crazy. I don't know what it is. Now, with that being said, the bitch
he's the Pied Piper, that's why.
The bitch need to get life plus another, 4 years in jail. So, I definitely feel like he need to be in there. Fuck the nasty nigga. I ain't with it. But
absolutely,
his music, he came out in 1990. I was born in 1986. So from 1990 to 1998, 99, 2000, now I'm 14, 15. Then 2002, TP2 come out. You know what I'm saying? These are my biggest years with my biggest memories, and R. Kelly is attached to him. So it's hard for me to get away from this nigga. I remember when Feeling on Your Booty came out, and them were my teenage club years. And that shit bring back so many memories of shit that me and my dudes were doing when that song came on. Pause. That didn't sound good.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the ladies, trying to get on with girls, getting denied by girls, grabbing bitches' booties, all type of stuff we ain't have no business doing. But the memories are attached. So it's I guess in my head I separated him from the music.
I have a lot of memories that are attached to a lot of his music as well from my teenage years also. But for me, I have so much other music that's attached to memories that I don't have to play him. The only CD that I feel, if I had to say, would be a temptation to play is The Best of Both Worlds. Especially the song Best of Both Worlds, because that is the best song to drive to, with the bass and the trumpet and then he sing and he said, oh, and then Ho start rapping. Like, hey, I will admit.
Just yesterday I was listening to that, try to find me, but I'm not guilty. Chigga, Kelly, not guilty.
Guilty, yes. I will admit that The Best of Both Worlds, if I had to be tempted to listen to anything R. Kelly, it would be the Best of Both Worlds album because of Jay-Z, and that it was really the best of both worlds. But I honestly don't listen to R. Kelly. I haven't listened to him in so long. I have full-blown playlists, and if they were CDs, they would have a thick layer of dust on them.
When I was in fifth grade, we did, you got your little fifth grade promotion ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
I sung the solo for I Believe I Can Fly.
All kids.
I can fly. No, I did that part.
Our daycare, every year, all the kids, including my kids, graduated from our daycare to I Believe I Can Fly for years. We don't play it anymore.
So many. Oh, hell no. You can't play it no more.
Nah.
But I'm saying, like,
wait, but when Haley was at prom in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, the DJ played AJ Nothing But a Number, and the parents were still there. We went up to the booth like, bruh, what is wrong with you? This is middle school. Why are you playing AJ Nothing But a Number at a middle school?
In the 2000s.
Like, he literally started playing AJ Nothing But a Number. We're like, these are middle schoolers. First of all, they probably don't even know this song, and you're looking real suspect right now.
Kids don't have no Aaliyah nostalgia.
No, they don't have any attachment to Aaliyah or R. Kelly. So I'm trying to understand, with your goofy self, we were like, bro, a lot of the parents was like, do we need to stay here and watch you?
Right.
Because what grown man DJ would think it was appropriate to play AJ Nothing But a Number at a middle school prom? Sir.
They're trying to send a message.
Bro, and the parents yoked him up real quick, like, hey, bro. Exactly. But I just really wish that the black community would stop the whataboutisms. Like,
as y'all should.
I want us to stop the whataboutism, because it's like, okay, so, especially bringing up Elvis. Elvis has been dead for over 40-something years. We don't even listen to Elvis's music. So it's like telling people, what about Elvis? What about him? So you want pedophiles, or chesters, as we call them in the black community, you want chesters to keep chestering until somebody digs up Elvis and convicts him? Like, I don't understand.
I think it's a whole mentality of I ain't going down by myself. If I'm going down, all y'all going down with me. Like, nigga, you still did something wrong. Just because they ain't get caught don't mean your nasty ass don't need to get caught. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, y'all should go down, but it's your time right now.
Right. And it's baffling to me how many black women are talking down on all these young girls and these women.
Talking about, I love R. Kelly still. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, y'all.
No. How'd that make you feel as a big brother?
I ain't surprised. She wild as fuck.
Oh.
But shit, it's just crazy. Like, she won a many. All these chicks, a lot of chicks talk about they still love that nigga, man. So I don't know.
I don't understand that. That's something that we really have to evaluate in our community. And that's for women, of just being okay with being with men that have issues.
I don't think I don't think women truly appreciate, or a lot of women don't appreciate like proper respect these days. They don't want to be
Yeah. I don't
properly
think a
like.
lot of black women know what it looks like, Squeeze.
Yeah, because like they honest to God, like those are the dudes they call lame. The dudes who like honest to God. So it's like it's weird.
I had an
You
Uber
respect
driver.
properly, and it's weird.
Yeah, when he first got arrested this last time, and all this stuff came out, the documentary came out. I had this Uber driver, this lady Uber driver. She was telling me like how she had been trafficked and how men had did her dirty and she had been molested and raped, and how, I think it was her uncle that had her out here like selling her body and stuff. And she said she still sides with R. Kelly. Like she was calling the ladies all types of names, and I really felt bad for her. I was like, wow.
I will say this. I think R. Kelly was a nasty ass nigga, but I also think it was like I think it was like some sort of conspiracy along the way. But I think he was because they understood that he was dumb enough to fall into the trap.
Yeah, because it takes a whole network of people to pull off what he pulled off. But like you said, I think they realized that he wasn't smart.
Yeah, they knew that, this nasty motherfucker gonna do whatever anyway. Well, I think the issue was the women. It's just, to me, it's always it's a fine line between accusations and victim shaming, and I don't want to walk that line because I don't want these people to. I feel like women do be having like a tough time and shit, like when they been victimized and shit. Like it is hard for them to come out and say some shit because it's gonna be so many people talking about, well, why you blah blah blah. I haven't experienced it personally, but I've seen that happen to them women, so I understand that shit. But I will say, in this R. Kelly situation, it seemed to me like these ladies ain't have no problem until the money got dry. And I think that's what everybody's argument is.
But the problem, Squeeze, R. Kelly, this isn't. But Squeeze, this isn't. But R. Kelly's money never went dry. That's the problem. That's
the money key factor to flow, but it didn't flow his way no more. He lost control of the flow. He wasn't getting money coming in no more.
He was getting money coming in. I think for some people, I'm never going to blame the victims. I'm going to blame all the people that had something to do with helping the victims remain victims to the point where they couldn't go anywhere. And they had, I feel like,
it's almost like snitching, right? Because it's like, if I let you use my house to sell dope, and you selling dope, and then I say, you know what, give me an extra $2,000, and you like, no, and you like, you know what, all right, bet. And I go tell on you. Nigga, that's just snitching. Like that ain't, you know what I'm saying? You know that's not defending yourself no more. That's snitching.
Right.
So I think these girls realize, yo, my money ain't coming in no more. Guess what? He grabbed my pussy too. Like, whoa, I've been grabbing your pussy for 15 years. Why you just not getting mad?
I don't think it was the money. I think it was more so they knew that nothing could happen to them anymore. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Because a lot of them told stories about his temper. A lot of the people told stories. A lot of the women were afraid of him. A lot of the young men were afraid of him. But if the monster is locked up and he can't do anything anymore, he can't make any calls, he can't call any shots because he's hot right now. If you're hot right now and we got a whole network to protect, we got a whole trafficking network to protect, we're gonna let you hang out there to dry. So now all these women see that he doesn't have this network of people to protect him anymore. So now I can open my mouth and say what happened to me. I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid.
I can see that. I can definitely see that, man.
Because you can't touch me now. Because there's too many of us, and there's too many people out here whose name can be attached to this that don't want their name attached to this. Because have you noticed that? I haven't seen any celebrities talk about his conviction. It's been regular people posting about it on social media. All the celebrities act like they don't even know who R. Kelly is.
Somebody got some dirt on their ass.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the reason why these women, exactly, that's the reason why these women can freely talk now, because nobody's going to do anything to them.
So do you think, in this case, as far as like, do you think it set an example for people in the future, how they going to move, like other celebrities?
No.
So they still gonna be wild, still gonna be out here?
Yeah, because there's a network of protection out here. A whole network, which is the reason why Bill Cosby was able to write a whole confession about what he did and not have anything happen to him. And by the time they were ready to convict him, the statute of limitation was up. So they did a whole, let's throw him in jail, to make it seem like we care. And then they found out, like, oh, it's a technicality, so we got to let him out. You guys knew it was a technicality before you locked him up.
Right,
it's for show.
Right.
Weinstein all of a sudden got sick. Epstein committed suicide. Like, you got to really think about how many years these people let all this stuff go by before they talk about it or pretend to convict these people. Just like with the T.I. and Tiny situation, the statute of limitation had expired. So they got off on their cases that came against them in L.A. because the statute of limitation was over.
Yeah, quietly too. They just quietly walked away from that.
Exactly. So you got to look at the similarities to all these situations, no matter what color these people are. Like, people are like, oh, what about this person? But it's like, if you really think about it, everybody got off. But the thing is that R. Kelly did things because he was slow, like married a 15-year-old. There's nothing they can do about erasing those interviews.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like, T.I., Tiny could get off on technicalities. Bill Cosby could get off on technicalities. Weinstein, all these people, these things have been brought against them, but they've had a way to get them out of it. They couldn't get R. Kelly out. They got him out in 2008, but then he kept doing stuff.
Facts.
Outside of the code.
Facts.
So now they're like...
Even OJ got smart enough to walk away after he got...
Thank you. He kept doing stuff outside of the code. They're like, bruh, if we keep helping you, you're going to bust the whole trafficking system wide open. We can't have that. So now you just got to go to prison. Whatever these ladies say, we're going to agree with them because you didn't follow all of the rules. Period.
Hey, fuck that nigga. I don't, I ain't gonna hold you, but if I get the urge to play Feeling on Your Booty in the club, I'm gonna run that shit.
Man, stop. Man, stop it, DJ Big Squeeze.
I'm just being honest, man. Like, it's fucked up, but I mean, it's all. My playlist will go dry if I go by morals. None of these artists got good morals. Like, that's
facts.
They all got fucked up shit. I can't play nothing but Will Smith and fucking.
But at least the other dudes say they're sorry.
That's the rapper.
Jay-Z got on 444 and apologized for his infidelities.
That's true. That's very true.
R. Kelly said, hog tie? I don't even know how to hog tie. Said, young? How long? He said, young? Well, how young we talking? Like, bruh, shut up.
That was crazy. That was fucking crazy.
And that's why they allowed this stuff to happen to him. They're like, dude, we can't do shit. We can't do shit.
fucking terrible, man.
It was, and that's why they couldn't save him. Squeeze. He did it to himself.
You serious?
And then when he got up, and then they said, like, okay, well, let's let him interview with Gail. He got in Gail's face and snatched off.
Right,
Bruh,
man.
you showed the temper that all these ladies claimed that you had, and then you got on national TV and did exactly what they said. I'm telling you, this is...
And get in Gail's face. What will possess him to do that?
On national TV, after these ladies claimed that that's the type of characteristics you showed, you gonna do that?
On top of that, though, Gail is a double minority. Nigga, she's she's a black woman. And
yes.
In her face and show aggression at a time like this.
Dude,
bruh,
that's why I said.
I don't have a PR staff and I know better than that, my boy.
Right. So I told you, that's why it was like, you know what? He's not even following the rules. Just whatever happens, happens. Whatever lady comes out.
Like, I think in some level it was conspired against the nigga. But like I said, I think he was dumb enough to fall into whatever trap they set up for him. He was going to do it. He's a dumbass.
Even if they conspired against him, they conspired against him with his own...
With his own shit. I agree.
Yeah.
His own intentions. His own intentions.
Yeah. Period.
They didn't have to force him. They just told him where the shit was at.
Exactly. That's like in New Jack City when they sent Pookie in the crack house hoping that he was not going to do any crack. He started doing jumping jacks.
Right. Right. Hey, we got powerful crack over here. I know you a former crackhead. Just don't smoke, my nigga. Good looking.
Exactly. Go in and get the footage. Like, you thought Pookie wasn't about to start doing jumping jacks in that mug?
Put me in the fucking spaghetti warehouse like, hey, Squeeze. They go a pound of weed. They go a lot of pasta. They don't eat nothing. I'll holler at you in 2 hours.
Hey, bro.
Plate of spaghetti, my
God. There's burgers and weed in that building. You can only choose one.
Shit.
But don't eat the burgers.
Don't fuck with the burgers. Fine. I just won't smoke right now. But I got a pocket full of weed and 2 sandwiches, nigga. I'm down.
Exactly. Oh my God. But speaking of people conspiring and doing different things, let's talk about gatekeeping in the entertainment scene in Cleveland. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's something that always existed. I mean, it's always been gatekeep. I think the definition of gatekeepers changed though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it goes from I think it started off as like maybe like a bar. Like, okay, if you can get through this guy, then I know you're good enough to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think initially that was the initial gatekeeper. Like, okay, he passed the test, he can stay around, or he ain't even nice as such and such, he can't be around here. Versus now I think the gatekeeper is kind of who is the person who gets the initial check to open the door. You know what I'm saying? I think now it's kind of, okay, you pay me first to get in, and then you do whatever you want to do after you here. So that's what I think the gatekeeper is in 2021. The first nigga that you pay.
Yeah. I also...
Whatever the industry is, whatever the medium of entertainment is. Like, not, whether it be artistry, media, fucking production, whatever the situation is, you can buy your way in.
So do you think you can buy your way into Cleveland entertainment scene?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what, no names please, but shit, with somebody that we highly respect today, I would say he bought his way in. I would say he just kind of bought enough friends to where he's a relevant person on the scene today.
And do you do you think that person from doing that is now trying to gatekeep the scene so that no one else can take that position? In the 2021 sense, not in the back in the day sense, because now they probably don't need the money.
In many ways, yeah. But I don't think the money I don't think the money is enough for somebody to just be able to be completely comfortable anyway. Like I think you can eat well, but I don't think you could. You know, you can't consider retiring. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think they I think they attempted to monopolize and become the person who would call the shots that way.
Mhm.
That's the way I think they attempted to do it. I think they attempted to take it over and be the only available, respectable source in that field.
Mhm. I can agree with that. I see where you're coming from. I could agree with that. That's kind of what I think of gatekeeping when it comes to the entertainment scene here in Cleveland. I think that there's a few people that have been here for a while and they figured out how to make themselves be the point person for the entire city so that
I agree.
people feel like they would have to come to them first. And if they feel like bringing other people in on the opportunity, then they might tell everybody. But
I
if they
feel like
don't feel like telling anybody, they'll keep it all to themselves and probably just delegate different pieces to their team if they want to.
on a lower level, on a smaller level, we're gatekeepers, but I feel like we're gatekeepers with the actual purpose. Like for instance, I feel like I'm the entry point for a lot of people,
Mhm.
but I'm actually here to. My intentions are different. Like I actually want to help you. Like I do have paid services forever. I mean, but let's say you don't have any money. That don't
Mhm.
mean I don't have nothing to offer you. That don't mean you don't have. That don't mean you lost my attention. You know
Right.
what I mean? I can still do things. I can still do things for you.
Mhm. No, I understand what you're saying because it's the same way with me. Like hit or miss Sundays. That's like we have
That's what
free
I'm
stuff on the
saying.
station. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a purpose. It's like you still got something to offer the artist. Um, you know, whether they got funds or not. I just think, you know, the more that you have in the budget, then the more I can help you. But that don't mean I
Right.
can't help you if you ain't got nothing. I still got your back.
Right.
Now, I think
I
on a
think
higher
that.
scale
Oh, go
though,
ahead.
if you don't have anything to offer, then they don't have no conversation for you. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, oh,
Mhm.
well, don't holler at me until you get this amount of money.
Mhm.
That's the difference, I think.
And I'm okay. You know what? I feel like this. I'm okay with that. I feel like everybody can set their own prices. Everybody knows their worth, and you have the right to request the amount that you feel you're worth. For me, gatekeeping is on a different level, and it's probably because of where I'm at in my stage of career here in the entertainment scene. Um, I feel like I feel like I kind of like hit the ceiling somewhat, but it's like this. Let's say I understood what you were saying at the beginning, where it's kind of like, let me make sure you're worth coming in to this event.
Yeah.
Um, if it was like that back in the day, like you had to put in your work to be a part of the circle. But now I feel like now that I feel like they sort this. How can I put this? I feel like maybe too many of us have proven that we're worthy of being a part of it, and they're like, wait a minute, I didn't expect you guys to still be here. I didn't expect you guys to evolve as much as you have. So I'm still going to find a way to not include you. So let's just say you've been doing this for a long time. I know that you're a big squeeze. I know what you're capable of, and I have an event for media, but I just don't invite you,
Yeah, that's
knowing
like
that it would be good for you to come and do this interview or something like that. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah, it's like you still got to find a way to keep your foot on the opposition's neck, even though you
Yeah,
claim, you know, you want to unify things.
right.
Like I always tell people, they want you to do well, just not better than them.
Facts. And I know that happens a lot in the entertainment scene, but I think because Cleveland is so small, I think that some of the ways that are seen as being some of the ways that people are gatekeeping, it hinders our city from growing. Like our entertainment scene isn't large enough to gatekeep as much as we do. We don't really have that many indie media outlets that all of us should not be invited to quality events.
I agree. I agree with that, 100%.
It's not that hard to figure out who the indie media outlets are. To say, hey, we'd like for you to come here and cover this.
It's very easy to see who we are.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like you said, it's like they gotta feel the need to keep their distance. If they, if you pull everybody in the same building, it's all of a sudden it's like they're no longer under you, and when you become a peer, it's different.
Yeah.
I don't think people want to view you as peers when they don't have to.
That's true.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Because, we got Watts with his podcast and his artistry. He's super dope. We got a lot of dope graphic designers, and all of us are doing well, respectively. But at the same time, I feel like
no collective.
We could be doing so much more if people were willing to bring everyone up collectively that deserves it, because so many people have put in so much work to prove and to show how dope they are for it not to be more of a collective scene here.
It's somewhat of an ego thing, I think, and I also think it's like, on some level, I think we view each other as opposition at some point. And I think that's what it boils down to, because it's like, if you didn't view me as opposition, then you wouldn't have no problem collabing with me, especially if we got the same goal.
Right.
If we both want the same thing, why wouldn't we work together? I don't really understand that.
Exactly. I invite you to do a lot of stuff with me, even when you were a part of another radio station. I didn't care. I knew that our back and forth was entertaining. I knew that I liked your personality. I feel like you're dope at what you do. I'm dope at what I do for myself. You're dope at what you do for yourself. And it hasn't taken away from anything that we both have going on separately.
And my thing is, I don't really care where I am. It shouldn't matter where I am. It's like, I collab with whoever trying to get the ultimate goal, right?
Right.
None of that should matter. I don't view people as opposition. So that's why
me either.
That's why I don't feel intimidated about working with anybody. That's why I fuck
And
with.
that's what I was gonna say. That's because you're not intimidated and you understand your worth and you know who you are. Now, that's not to say that I can't recognize when people want to be leeches or clout chase. There's a difference.
Hell yeah.
That definitely exists. And once I realized that that's the type of person you are, I'm going to politely and professionally just slide you on out the circle.
Well, see, one thing why I never tell anyway, too, is we can't, I started this shit in 2011. Mm-hmm. And I just see how many people fucking just stopped, fell off. That's a fucking blooper.
You saw the light?
Yeah.
Because I moved the chair, and the chair hit the leg, and it fell on me.
You see how many people do this shit, and then they just stop doing this shit. It's like, y'all didn't really love it. Why? Enough people weren't watching, so you just decided you don't want to do it no more.
Right.
You clearly didn't do it for your love for the game, my nigga. And then, you were always somebody who was passionate about it. And that's why I was like, I'm going to fuck with Cream, because she do this shit for real.
Exactly. And that is, and I'm not even talking about myself, but I guess if I want to be selfish, I'll include myself in it. And that's what I'm talking about as far as the gatekeeping, because like you said, there are so many people who have started things and stopped, and there are very few of us, like how I named Watts, I named you, I named me. There's a few other people that I can name that started when everybody else started or before everybody else started, but we basically have been doing this for a long time and we never stopped. So it's like, clearly, it goes back to what you said. The only real explanation is people have to see us as competition now, and never thought we'd make it to be their equal, because if we outran the race, we should always be included.
And on the side note, shit, I've had periods of my life where I paid bills off just doing internet radio and media and all of this. So it's not like we out here just doing it for the love of the game and not getting paid for it. But what I'm saying is, the money was not the thing that drove you to doing this shit. Like, the actual passion and love for it led to the money coming in.
I love doing this.
There's people who, when they break records, they only think of Big Squeeze. They only think of Cream. They only when it's interview time, you know, they only think of the Jungle. They only think of TET. So it's like, we are embedded in this culture. I can't leave if I wanted to. I tried to walk away from this shit a few times. People
same.
They keep calling you.
They just keep calling me. Keep calling me.
Keep fucking calling me. I swear.
Facts. That's like Corey Buckets, man. Corey Buckets is from New York. Do you understand how excited he and other people in his team get for me to interview them? Like, every time. If you guys saw the live earlier today, like, as excited as he was, you would think that Corey and I go way back, but we literally met doing this music stuff, just me interviewing him, and we just clicked. And like, his manager was like, I love when you interview my artists, because I don't know what it is that you say to them during your interviews, but every time they come back from doing one of your interviews, they're extra pumped, they're extra motivated, they're extra empowered, because I love doing this. Like, I take this serious. Like, I'm not Miss Cream of the Crop just because that sounds cute. Like, I'm the best of the best. Like, that's how I see myself, and that's my goal when I'm doing these things. But, and you know, like, Corey was like, yeah, I got to interview you now. Like, I got my podcast. Like, I want you to come on as my guest. And like I said, he's from New York. He's not from here. So, yeah. So, you know, I've done a lot. You've done a lot. Exactly. So, I've done a lot. You've done a lot. We appreciate one another. That's why you come and do the Welcome to Cream's World Wednesdays with me. Like, I appreciate you for doing this with me. Like, we do this late night. It's 1 a.m. and you're doing this with me.
I know why that is, though.
Squeeze,
I honestly say you see me on a late night.
You know what?
You wasn't lying.
I was trying to end the podcast in a professional, great way. I was trying to give you all kinds of props so that you could get back to your gym class hero, your guitar hero. You get back to your opera karaoke. But listen, no, seriously, I really no, but seriously, I really appreciate you for doing this with me, and I appreciate you for always coming through when I call you, even though people think there's other reasons why you come through when I call you, but
people in their imaginations, boy.
Man, crazy. But thank you. I really appreciate you. I do.
Look, I appreciate you the same, man. I want you to know that. And it's like, I ain't got no problem answering these calls, and I enjoy this shit, man. It's all love, man.
One thing I can say about you, Squeeze, that I appreciate is the fact that you don't mind, you don't think that you're too manly or too big to tell someone that you appreciate them, because you do tell me that you appreciate me. For anybody that's thinking he's just saying that because we're on a podcast, like, Squeeze does let me know.
I let you know that shit outside of this shit, like, 'cause it's real.
Yes, He does.
It's
And
real.
I appreciate that. Most people don't do that. So this has been a dope episode. Thank you so much. Again, I'm grateful.
It's all love. Let's do this shit again next week, right?
Cool. I'll have a warehouse full of spaghetti and weed for you.
Let's get it. Time to smoke.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, be safe, friend.